I know it's a better way, but I'm blessed to know that. I'm blessed to still have my mind. But what about those that are not as blessed as I am, that's not as educated as I am? They are ticking time bombs. And again, I say to all of you, if you be quiet, you're part of the problem. But if you stand up, I heard that they was trying to build another jail here or something. And that because the people say, look, hold it, time out. You're going to spend all that money for a jail. Why don't you take that same money and use it for trying to educate, to bring jobs, everything else, to help the economy instead of the commodity? You know, and I thought that was beautiful. California learned that a few years ago, that they couldn't get rid of the problem by building more jails and prisons. It doesn't help, you know, because crime is crime. You can help reduce crime by doing constructive things such as education, going into the grade schools, getting the children prepared for later years, the college kids prepared for later years with an education and some kind of job to start them off with. Do something constructive. Building steels and bars is not helping. It's not helping. In fact, Chicago, I think, has the second largest jail in the United States. And guess what they're doing now? They're so overcrowded that they're contracting the suburbs to put people there now. So it's not working. California knew it wasn't working. Tams now, Supermax is closed down. Praise be to God on that. Yeah. Yeah. And I like to think that I did in fact help facilitate the closing of that son of a gun, you know, through me going every place that I went and speaking on it. And please know that Darrell Cannon is not bad off. You know, the city, I can't say how much, but the city made an offer, pretty nice offer, for me to settle my lawsuit against them for wrongful imprisonment and having been tortured. And I refuse. I refuse. No. Money can't bring back my parents, my children, none of that. But a substantial amount of money can make me feel good sometimes. You know, I can go around the country at will and other places, stuff like this. I can help people. I can donate money. So we're at a standstill right now with my lawsuit. When brother mentioned about the $3,000, please understand that I didn't want to settle out of court. The lawyer that I had was from Elmhurst. It was pointed to me, and he told me I couldn't win my case. It was my word against 3 white detectives. And my response to him was, you're right, I definitely can't win now because you are defeated before we even go into court. You know, so I wrote the judge, asking the judge to give me another attorney because this attorney has been defeated. The judge said no. So, in order for me to halfway protect myself, by that time I was a certified paralegal. That I got that while I was in prison. So you see, I did do constructive things with my time before they sent me to Tams. I wrote a letter to this lawyer and I had it notarized. Anytime you have a piece of paper notarized, it becomes an official document. And in that notarized letter, I stated to him that I was being forced to settle for $3,000 because of his mindset. You know, he didn't want to take me to trial. He didn't want to try and fight for my rights or anything else. And he accepted the letter. And out of $3,000, I had to pay his fee and court fee. So you see, Darrell Cannon has never had a break. You know, I'm talking about period, on nothing. You know, they made me fight tooth and nail. I stand here today as a living witness to say to all of you that if you do the same, if you refuse to be defeated, if you stand up when the odds seem like synonymous, where you can't win, hey, still fight. Fight. Nothing beats a failure but a try. And on that note, I would like to take some time we have, so that if anyone here has any questions of Darrell Cannon, and please know that no question is off the table. Limited. No, ask any question that you feel you need to ask. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
That's our microphone test.
Thank you for coming here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for coming here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I want to go back to your contention that you think most of the policemen in Chicago or policewomen are decent people, and that these were exceptional people who did to you what they did. That, I think, doesn't get to the systemic question of how Chicago had been policed and how many other cities had been policed. It really boggles the mind to believe that other police officers did not know what was going on, but we know that there's a code of silence among police officers, which is one of the most vicious aspects of policing. That is to say, you don't rat on another officer no matter what that officer has done. It also stretches the imagination to think that the state's attorney's office didn't know what was going on, because it was so repetitive and people were saying the same things. And for at least part of the time that this was going on, the ex-mayor of Chicago, Mr. Daley, was the state's attorney and did nothing about this, and he had an investigative staff. He had his own police force and should have known, and I would say probably did know. The third element of this, I think, is quite interesting because it indicates what a relationship there was between the militarism of a country and what it does domestically. And Mr. Burge, who directed all of this torture and did some himself, interrogated supposed Viet Cong prisoners in Vietnam and used that technique of electricity and came back to the Chicago Police Department and used it here in policing the city of Chicago. Maybe you can comment on some of these.
We found out that when Burge was in Vietnam in '67, '68, he worked in intelligence. His job was to interrogate captured VCs. The United States taught him and a handful of other interrogators techniques on how to torture and break down any human being. Daley knew exactly what was going on. Daley gave impunity to him, to the other police officers that was involved, and the code of silence was in fact strongly in place. And there were police officers who were afraid of Jon Burge and his hand-picked crew, were actually afraid of them, that they knew how vicious they were, and they knew that if they told on them what they have heard or anything else, that they could be the subject of someone killing them within that crew. So because of that, they kept quiet. And it was a known fact that the city of Chicago didn't care. All those officials did not care. All they wanted was results. If you think that bringing down crime will result in you having to use illegal means to do so, no problem. You know, but again, I often say that they picked the wrong person when they tortured Darrell Cannon. I wasn't about to be quiet or anything else. I was not intimidated. I had no fear or anything else. And Daley is not off the hook yet, because God willing, just as soon as the Seventh Circuit make their ruling in my case, we're going to depose Daley again. We're going to court, yes. We want depositions from him. There's no way on God's green earth that you could be the state's attorney's office and all these cases exist and you don't know nothing about it. Ain't no way.